Hey folks, Jonathan here. Picked up another boiler with a mounted steam engine, and it's got a vertical engine mounted on it. I think it's somewhere, I think they actually claimed about 6 horsepower, but maybe less, maybe 4 horsepower, something like that. But they offered two different sizes in the ads, and I don't remember what the sizes were, but this is a very, very early engine and boiler, and we're probably looking at 1870s to early 1880s. The advertisements I'm finding is from 1874 showing this exact engine, and the boiler is shot. It's never going to get used again, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. But this probably would have burnt coal, I would think. There would have been another plate on the bottom also that this one is missing, of course. This thing's had a really rough life, unfortunately, but the fact that it's here means a whole lot, because a lot of this stuff got scrapped over the years, and we've got a lot of breaks and some repairs. The governor's actually broke broke its balls. So the main frame has been busted at one time. Climb up here. You know, it is an S-spoke flywheel or dogtail. They call it different stuff. I always called it an S-spoke flywheel, but it's not a straight flywheel, and that puts it, you know, really early. You can tell just by that. I don't know that we'd ever find a paint color on this. I mean, there may be, but I kind of doubt it. It's in such, you know, bad shape. Okay, so the main frame has been broken in half at one time. How, I don't know, but you know, cast iron's under pressure, so the older the cast iron is, the less chance that it's going to be in good shape. But you can see they bolted the plate on, and here's where it was cracked all the way around, and they've done a really good job bolting it on, putting it on. You know, that's a really old fix, and I don't mind old repairs like that. I think they're pretty neat. I think one side of the head, I don't know that it would hurt it, but one side of the head is busted here. Now, building this head would be no problem. You know, could build one out of steel pretty quick and easy, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. Okay, boiler. I don't know who done this or when they done it, but boy, oh boy. Okay, so fire tube boiler. So the fire comes through the tubes. You can see it's been brazed, or possibly, yeah, that's brazed, I'm sure. But they had brazed it all the way around, and there's more cracks still there, and then there's a lot of cracks on the sides. Right there. There's one. There's one. So under pressure, and this is a lap seam boiler, so you know, it wouldn't be fire even if it was in good shape here. We wouldn't fire it, but the engine is not stuck. That's one good thing about it. Moves pretty easy. Hopefully the rings are decent in the cylinder. I pulled these off when I put the governor back on, and this thing does have one break on the, what we call the D valve. I'm going to have to repair. It may work like it is, but I wanted to fix it anyway. Here's our tag, Springfield, Ohio. Bookwalter is what this was, and then it was actually that's James Leffel, which J.S. Leffel, but he built a lot of turbines for dams, for water power, stuff like that. So anyway, governor's not stuck. Of course, gears are not in the best shape, but we wouldn't be using the governor anyway, you know, for anything but just looks. This thing is to repaint the boiler, clean everything up, clean the tag up, and try to, you know, mechanically get things back in order to where this could at least be, you know, ran on air just for demonstration purposes only. You know, we're not going to be able, and we could run it on steam also. We just can't run it with this boiler. So we'll go from here and see how it goes. Of course, it's not going to be anytime real soon. We're going to put this on the back burner, and I am machining on one of the engines. I'm going to show you what we've got with it and what I'm doing to it. Okay folks, here's our Payne engine. Like I said, this is the other early engine that we've got. I don't know that this is our oldest one now, but it's close to it. So what we've got is, this is an eccentric. And when I say eccentric, it's just an off-center plate that when you turn this engine, that's what operates the valve gear up that way. So luckily we've got part of the valve gear. We just didn't have the rod, and we didn't have the eccentric strap that was correct for this engine. Now we've got one here, and this is kind of a different setup because it is an eccentric strap, but it's not set up normal. The way that it's not made for an engine like this. And what this needs is a rod that comes straight out and is adjustable, and it holds this from turning, and it goes up to the valve gear. So we're going to do something with that because, you know, I don't know what this fits. I don't have anything for it, and it's close. We're going to do some machining, but it's close to being able to fit. So what we're going to have to do is open this up, and I'll tell you how much here in a minute, but we're going to have to open this entire piece up, and then we've got to go in here and widen this out. Now it looks like it's about a 1/2 inch, but it's got to be about 1 inch. And my goal is not to mess with the original and machine the strap out and make it fit this eccentric, and that way we don't change anything on our original. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do the rod coming out of here yet. There's a lot of ways I can do it. I can cut this thing off, or I can just make one that maybe bolts on and unbolt this cap and just bolt a plate with a rod sticking out. That'd probably be the best. And then you know, a lot of this is going to be hidden behind the flywheel anyway, and just, you know, angle that up toward the top. And you know, it would be a lot nicer because you could shim it better if it came out directly here and the cap was on the back side, but we'll work with it. I think it'll be fine anyway. I'm hoping that it's going to be a job to machine this thing, and all I've got to do it with is a boring bar and with a boring head, and I'm going to have to mount this down in the mill, and then get it off the surface of the mill, of course, center it, and then go through it with that boring head, which is way too small for this job anyway. This thing's been broke here, it's been broke here, which they've done a good job putting it back together. It looks like it's really nice and straight. It actually lines up better than the cap does, but again, cast iron's under pressure, so that, you know, warping and moving, it don't surprise me a bit. And but we're going to go ahead and measure that. I think it's a little over 7 inches, and then we're going to go ahead and set this thing up and try to clean it up here a little bit first, and then we're going to set it up and try to machine it. Okay folks, I think we're going to swing the crane around here, and it's getting late. The sun's just about below the trees, or yeah, I'm going to have to swing this around here and see if we can get it picked up. I think we're going to go ahead and weigh this thing, see what it weighs. Okay folks, not bad weight wise, 1,482 pounds. So figure it was 1,500 with everything. It's lighter than I figured it was actually, but alright, so let's get her out of there real quick. Alright folks, it's actually a couple days later, and I've actually got the machining done on it. I think it's going to work out just fine. I had to do a little more than I wanted to be able to clear everything. But she's on there good. I think it's going to work out perfect. So we've just, we'll have to, you know, check it and shim it, do whatever we got to do. I'm going to get some grease on it. So we're going to build a piece to run up to there, off the end of that. But it's going to work out good. A bunch of machining, but that's okay. We got her. Okay, so we've temporarily hooked the rod back up. We've got our eccentric strap on and got it shimmed, and I think I got 16th inch shims on each side. So, okay, folks. So we've been playing with this engine on and off. It's probably been, I don't know, going on a week now since I started machining on this thing, but that's it for our eccentric and our eccentric strap. So we've got it on, and I think it's going to work out fine. Now, I went ahead and just drilled the cap and went with a rod here. Now what I've got to do is take another rod and build a mount for here. And it's going to have to be some kind of a clamp or something, unless I take this out and turn it down and come up with a different way. Could turn this off, slide something over it and drill it and tap it, and just put a bolt in it or something like that. It wouldn't be hard, but we may just make something to clamp on there, some kind of a rod cap or something, and then gotta come back, and then hopefully I can get it in time right, get the travel length right. I mean, it may already be in time. I didn't turn the eccentric or anything, so we just need to get the travel distance right. I did make another road trip. Okay, so we made a road trip and went and picked up this, and this is actually came from a subscriber in Alabama, and I'll tell you more about it in another video, but we was able to go get it and bring it back. We've got a lot of parts for it: the governor, the oilers, a lubricator, and mechanical one. And it has got, let me see, we hooked it up to air yesterday and ran it. It runs really good. It's no knocking or noise or anything. I mean, it's a real smooth running engine. It's had a lot of repairs on it, which that's a lot of engines are that way, and a lot of them need repaired, and some of them's been repaired, but there's not too many of them that don't have some cracks and stuff on them. But this is sort of an unknown brand engine. It's a lot like a Frick, but there's some little differences on it that makes it where we really don't know what it is. It's got a lot of numbers on it, part numbers, and it's actually got a tag on it that says engine, and it's got the size and all the information there. But I think it was a 10-inch stroke and 9.5-inch bore. I believe that's what that is. Maybe you can see that. So. But like I said, it's got the engine, it says engine, it's got a number, and it was almost like they were trying to hide what the brand was on it. And a lot of companies making engines back then. And we was able to run the Bookwalter engine also, which is this one. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it just barely did run. And because it's got so many leaks on it, and we was running it on air, of course, but I mean, it's leaking everywhere. It's pipes are leaking, pipes are loose, it's leaking around the valve cage on both sides. I mean, most of that stuff's going to have to be probably surfaced. Just put it on the surface grinder and get it right. And because, you know, like I said, cast iron's under stress, so it would warp over the years. So the packing on the cylinder was leaking really bad, but it did run, and it ran pretty good for what it was doing. It was leaking a lot, but surprisingly we had enough air to overcome that. And so this is going to make a decent little setup to run, and we're probably going to take this down and do all the machine work and paint it and everything eventually. But we've got a lot of other stuff to do first. And like I said, I just finished putting a water pump on one of the roll packs. So anyway, this one won't be next, of course. We're going to get this one off the trailer. We're going to leave it on them steel frames for now, and we're going to set it down, but we've got plans for the trailer for something else. Novo 4-horse upright with the pump jack would be really nice on that trailer. It's a good heavy trailer, and of course that Novo's a heavy engine. So, of course, a lot of you have seen the bad news. Junior passed away, and you know, even when you know something's coming, and you know, it's just rough. It is. And you know, he was a really good friend, and I thought the world of him. And you know, you won't find a friend any better than him. So like I said, you know, the good thing is he's not in pain anymore, because you know, he was, you know, in a lot of pain there toward the end. So he'll definitely be missed. There's no doubt about it. So the cruise-ins were canceling for the rest of the winter. The pizza place has closed down. They changed it to a burger joint, and then they closed the burger joint down. So I don't know what they're going to do, but we're going to do something a little different. And you know, I still want to do another one-day rat rod build or hot rod build. And then once we get things figured out, we're going to do that. But we're also going to move the cruise in somewhere else, or possibly have it there and just go about it a different way or something. We'll figure something out. But you know, it's getting cold now anyway, so not a big deal. And you know, we've been doing it for over 2 years now anyway, and who knows. All right, so I appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye.